Welcome to another episode of the Brothers On Anime Pod. We apologize for having to stop our live broadcast. We had some technical difficulties. We've since worked through those, and we are now going to proceed forward with episode 8, our What Ifs episode. Members, please introduce yourselves.
On Twitch and Twitter. Good to see y'all again.
Still going by the name of Blackjack, the Kung Fu Panda. What's going on, everybody?
What's up, y'all? It's your boy Flossy B93. You already know what it is.
All right. With that being said, we're going to launch into the very first What If. The very first What If is, what if Cell was revived for the Tournament of Power instead of Frieza? Bear in mind that we are talking about Cell from the Cell Games arc, immediately following his destruction at the hands of Gohan. The Kamehameha Wave. All right.
One-handed,
That being
broken
said-
arm. Ooh.
One-handed too, boy.
So, Loving Main, please give us your take.
All right. So, see, for me personally, man, I think this what if is actually a really good idea. I could see a lot of potential in this storyline. But I can't get over the fact that me personally, I still think that Cell would try to speed blitz Gohan just right off sight, just because he's vindictive.
Yep.
Now,
I agree.
Is that saying that I don't think that he would join them in the Tournament of Power? No, I just think that he would just try, just because, hey, you did what you did. I'm here. I'm back for revenge.
But here's the caveat to that, though. Gohan wasn't present when Frieza was initially revived. The only four people that were there is Roshi's sister.
Mm-hmm.
So the witch, Baba?
Mm-hmm.
Pretty sure it's Baba. Okay. Lady Baba. And then you have Whis and Beerus.
Yeah, okay.
We not talking about Frieza, though.
We talking about...
Right. We're talking about Cell, who has
I think
a much
Cell-
more rational thinking part of him, which is Piccolo.
I mean, this is true, but he also has a very vindictive nature. You've seen this throughout the show.
Yes, but he was clearly clever enough to take some time and learn instant transmission for Goku.
I think a Cell that's revived at that point in time, realizing that there's someone he doesn't register who's clearly extremely powerful, and another someone that he has no idea who this person is,
Which we're talking
who is
about.
also clearly
Which we're talking
extremely
about
powerful.
Whis and them. Okay, yeah, I see what you're saying.
Mm-hmm. About Whis and Bears. I don't think off the gate he would react the way that we saw Frieza react. He may be like, okay, Goku's here, and they'll probably have a back and forth, but I think he's smart enough to probably wait it out. I think the caveat would be when they're heading to the tournament, or once they're already there, there would definitely be like a Frost type situation between Cell and Gohan, and they may end up throwing hands at the tournament. It would be interesting, because I do believe Gohan and Frieza did the same thing in the tournament, if I'm not mistaken, just to get someone to let their guard down.
Yeah.
So, but I don't think it would be for play. I think they would be really throwing hands, and the other universes would get caught up in it, and either they would be like, okay, now we can attack both of them and get both of them knocked out for Universe 7, and that's when we're gonna see Cell whip that tail out, and somebody gonna be breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
I gotta somewhat disagree with you on that. I feel like they would throw hands and it would be serious, but it would only be for Cell to taunt and push Gohan, because he would want to see what else he could do.
I understand that.
Not to necessarily, fight him and try to kill him. It'll be to taunt him and push him to see, hey, when this is over, I really want to see what you can do.
Right. That's true, because that was definitely Cell in the Cell games. He was like, y'all are saying this 12-year-old boy is strong enough to take me out in my perfect form with my perfect beetle shine. You gonna tell me he gonna beat me? Please stop it right now.
Let me know what you think.
I kind of agree with what everybody else is saying. Really, I don't really have anything else to add to it. I think Cell in Tournament of Power, in my opinion, would be more. There would be like his schemes would be out in the open more, just because of who Cell is. Frieza's like definitely prideful, definitely outspoken, but he also knows when to move in the shadows. I think Cell would just be like, nah, we going to this tournament, but after we gonna handle that. Like we gonna handle that. We got business to take care of. So, yeah. But it would be fun though. I think Cell would be a pretty interesting addition in place of Frieza.
And he would, I feel like he would definitely push everybody to try to push their limits.
Yeah,
for sure. In his own way.
Especially Gohan. I think. I think that. Go ahead. I'm sorry. I was just going to say one more point. If it still ends the same in this scenario, he gets his life back. He's no longer dead. I think we're going to see a Gohan that has to deal with Cell like 7 days out the week. Like, because he's not letting it go.
No.
So here's my take on it. So I think that, me personally, the way I foresee the events going is thus. I think that we have to also understand Cell never trained. The entire time of his existence, never did a day of training. And if Goku, from the jump, had planned on bringing him back instead of Frieza, he's gonna know he's got to play catch up. This is a battle for the universe. We gotta be on 10 toes of business. With that being said, he's gonna suggest to Whis that he should train him, and that means a Cell with God Ki. Now let's just think about that for a second. The training itself, just to get, you can disagree, this is just my take on it. So a Cell that can immediately master instant transmission off of seeing it one time is going to get a taste of God Ki and think, ooh, what else can I pick up? What else can I fire into the skill set?
Let's not forget that.
Second.
I said Cell also attained Super Saiyan. Let's not forget that.
Correct. He was fighting at essentially Super Saiyan grade 4 when he lost to Gohan. So with all... Go ahead.
Can you imagine him picking up Hit's ability?
No.
We'll see. That's where I'm going with that. So I think that my interpretation of this what if in particular is that Cell is going to get a taste for all the techniques, and his Goku is going to start to show. He's going to be like, oh, there's a lot more fighters I can beat the fuck out of. And even beyond that, he's going to see Jiren and say, I'm not there yet. but also bear in mind, we're talking about a Cell that has Frieza's potential. And not just Frieza's potential, but also the ability to have Zenkais.
Yeah, that's
so going
he's got
through,
the same Cell.
if he gets any dose of training prior TOP, and I don't believe Goku's taking a Cell Saga Cell into the TOP and not doing any training. Right. I think furthermore, Cell's going to understand I need to stick around so that I can wreak havoc, so that I can challenge more fighters, because that's ultimately what he wants. He wants a challenge. He wants to go toe to toe with the strongest. We saw that with Gohan. You know, he wanted to bring it out of him. So I think that I will say this also, that wannabe Cell knockoff from that other universe, Cell's going to see that and be like, you disrespectful, insignificant speck, and delete him from existence and probably just get himself ousted from the tournament. But assuming he doesn't kill anyone, he doesn't use his tail on anyone, my question to you guys, in addition to my thoughts, is who's going to have a bigger problem with him being on the team? The androids or Gohan?
The androids.
Probably the androids.
The androids. They are 1,000% going to be against.
They're going to be like,
Cell
why is
on the
he
team.
here? What do you mean you wished him back?
Because we talked about Gohan and his Gohan and his unrest that he would have.
You know what? That honestly would. Oh no.
Yup.
You went mute. You went mute, brother.
Oh, we can't hear you right now.
I don't think you can hear us.
Oh, man. I don't know what he's saying, but it looks fire.
He's going in.
Somebody got to text him to let him know.
Yeah, I got you.
I hate that this is happening, but he is going off right now. Y'all bear with us. Let's see. Make sure there's nothing that I can do on this end.
Can you hear me?
There we go.
Yeah, we can hear you now.
Okay, I don't know what happened. Sorry, I'm back. I think another thing to also understand is that Cell is going to dial everything to 11. The same way y'all said that he's going to make everybody more amped and, draw more conflict and cause everybody to push their limits. I think Piccolo is going to tell Gohan, like, hey, I know you want to whoop his ass. I understand the past. You're going to have to get past that so that we can win this tournament. Cell is an asset. Right. Because, I mean, to be honest, the only reason Boo was written out of the Tournament of Power is because Jiren wouldn't have had a chance. He would have been absorbed, and that would have been the end of it.
Yeah, because Boo would have been like, I'm going to turn you to chocolate.
Yeah, and Jiren really doesn't have an answer for magic. I mean, there's nothing that we saw in his repertoire to suggest that he would have an answer to the magic of Majin Buu or to something to stop the absorption. Because it was only a Gogeta that was able to, or really, it was only through massive amounts of ki, not to say that Jiren doesn't have that, but a Buu that trained since the Buu arc into the Tournament of Power, I mean, they had to write him out. It would have just been underhanded. Right. So bringing Cell back is going to be similar in that sense, that it's going to be underhanded to the other universes. I think that Universe 7 is going to stomp harder than they did.
Yeah.
But I think we're going to see Cell butt in on other people's fights. We're going to see a Cell that's like, oh, you're fighting Kefla? Break me off a piece of that Kit Kat bar and get into it.
One thing to add to this, because we did have Bold, he's in here, and we have some other people in here too. So y'all say welcome to the viewers.
Welcome!
Bold said that the androids would be ready to fight Cell even if he was on their team.
Yep, I agree.
And I agree with that, but also I believe that
Goku's going to stop him.
They possibly wouldn't have even joined, or at least 17. 17 would have definitely opted out.
I think 17 would have joined. I think 18 would have been out.
I was just going to say, I think 18 would have opted out. I think 17 would have joined.
She was the hard sell already. And it was only when Bulma said, cool, I'll put up the money, that she decided to join. Yeah. I think if Cell's there, she's like, cool, I'm out. Android 18 is going to be like, I'm above you. I don't need to worry about it.
Nice.
Because a Cell right off the rip isn't going to be able to mess with 18. And 18's got numerous things in his repertoire as of now to deal with Cell, to prevent himself from being absorbed again. Not that Cell would need to. He could to take his power, but what's that really going to do if he trains? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Suffice to say, Cell would absolutely stomp.
Yeah.
Now, moving on to, was there any other comments, D, before I proceed to the next topic?
No, that was it right now.
All right. So moving on to second what if. What if there was never an Uchiha coup?
Let's.
I'm gonna let the Naruto be at. I'm gonna let the
anime go first, or you want me to go first?
Ooh. You go first. You already know about that.
We're just gonna bounce. Yeah. So to start, the Hidden Leaf Village. Let's start right there. The Hidden Leaf Village is already on some bullshit. Okay, we talking the White Fang. We talking his son Kakashi. We talking about Mike guy with the 8 gates. We talking about like It's a list of heavy hitters. On top of that list of heavy hitters, one of the, if not the strongest clans in the Leaf Village, never plots a coup, gets along with the fourth Hokage. They on the same page. You mean to tell me you gotta fight the Hyuga clan and the Uchiha clan every time you go to war with the Leaf? Nah. Every time. Put it away, bro. And then we're not even talking about the Nara clan or the Sarutobi clan or what's seen the Aburame clan. Like, we're not even talking about them. We're talking about the Hyuga and the Uchiha, and you gotta fight them every time you go to war with the Leaf. Imagine if every Jonin squad had an Uchiha in it.
No. And even greater caveat, not necessarily greater, just zooming out a bit more. Let's say we make it to the Chunin exams. There's no Uchiha coup, right? There's no Uchiha coup. We make it to the Chunin exam. Orochimaru still want to destroy the Leaf Village. Sarutobi Sensei that mastered all the hidden clan techniques.
Sarutobi wouldn't be Kage because Obito would have never done what he did.
You're right. That's valid. Valid. The Nine-Tails attack
Minato would have been there to stomp Orochimaru.
Minato would have been there to stomp Orochimaru. The Chunin exams would have still went on, but not only that, the level of getting out the Leaf Village alone.
That would have been stupid.
Stupid. Because can you imagine Uchiha squad captains?
Yes, bro.
Bro.
Like Naruto by proxy would have had to have been stronger at a younger age to compete. By proxy, he would have had to have been stronger at a younger age.
Now, if the Nine-Tails Fox attack doesn't happen, then by proxy he would be. He would have trained with Jiraiya sooner.
And Jiraiya. He's got a dad to train him. He's got a dad who was Hokage to train him. He's got his dad Sensei and Jiraiya to train him. Naruto would have been stupid. Sasuke would have been stupid. Like, even more dumb than he already was.
Bro, Sasuke would have had a Itachi to train him, a Fugaku to train him, a Shisui to train him.
Yes, bro. Like, we would have seen a 12-year-old Sasuke with Mangekyo.
And he
probably
touched by Orochimaru.
Bro, Orochimaru
by choice. Unless it was by choice.
Unless it was Orochimaru Epstein.
Damn.
You mean Orochimaru Weinstein?
Damn.
Is that who you're talking about?
That's wrong.
Bro, the level of busted that the Leaf Village would have, bro. Like,
can you imagine? What if Kakashi? Because then you got to think about it like this: what if Kakashi doesn't end up leading Team 7 and is Itachi instead? And this is an Itachi who's going to notice Sakura has talent for Genjutsu. It's Itachi who's going to notice that while Naruto's ninjutsu and Genjutsu might necessarily be lacking, he's specializing in Shadow Clone Jutsu of that level at his age. This is an Itachi who's going to notice, of course, his brother is talented, but why do you have an affinity for lightning nature chakra at 12?
Right. Can I ask a question? Do you think if Minato, let's say for sake of sakes, right? Nine-Tails doesn't attack the hidden leaf, Minato lives. If Minato lives, would Naruto really have tried to steal the scroll, or do you think that he would have just taken? Do you think that he would have taken to learning? Hold on, let me finish.
Oh God, sorry.
Do you think that Minato would have been out here teaching his son Flying Raijin, the Rasengan, and not just that? We're talking about creating basically another Yellow Flash.
Yeah. And not only that, but Naruto's mom would have been alive to teach him Uzumaki sealing jutsu and all types of
But in all honesty, just knowing Naruto's the way his character, period, I still think he would have stole that seal.
I don't think so. I don't think because he would have already been getting fulfilled.
Yes, but I still think just because who he is, he would have just Flying Raijin stole it and then just still learned the shit.
And then put it back.
And then he would have surprised. I don't know what arc, but it would have just been a surprise that a bunch of fucking Naruto's come out of nowhere, Flying Raijin everybody in the goddamn field.
Well, no. I think that I think that Naruto would be able to make shadow clones, but I don't think he would be able to make as many, because part of him being able to make so many, I think, is due to the Kurama chakra that exists for him to tap into. I don't think he has the same depth of.
Caveat is Naruto is an Uzumaki, so he naturally has an overabound of stamina and deep chakra wells.
But the same as if he didn't have access to Kurama's chakra?
Yes.
So think of it like this. Think it like Naruto's base chakra is 1A. Kurama's chakra on top of that was 1B. So Kurama's chakra and Kurama himself is massive. The chakra that Naruto was siphoning from Kurama is probably about this big. Naruto's normal chakra well is already this big. Like, he was just based off of his own chakra, he was already pumping out mass shadow clones, because he was doing that before he started tapping into Kurama's chakra.
Yep.
That's fair. Okay. I just need to be educated. I just want to be on this right.
Yeah. I was also going to say this is a Naruto who, as an adult, spoiler. Okay, spoiler. One more spoiler. Doesn't have access to Kurama's chakra, but is still fully able to use Sage Mode as a perfect Sage.
Yes.
And that requires you to have an abundant amount of chakra to master nature energy to begin with. So I'm thinking about it like the Uchihas are there. Sasuke never goes rogue. He gets everything he wants to know from Itachi and his dad and Shisui and whoever else is around. There's possibly Itachi being the 5th Hokage. I can see that happening.
I can see that happening instead of Tsunade.
Yeah.
Instead of Tsunade.
Mm-hmm.
If not Itachi, then Obito.
Right, exactly. They somehow get Obito to come back to the village. Or maybe
I think
he gets caught up attempting the Nine Tails Fox attack, and here comes Shisui with a Kodo Matsukami. Bro, you never left. You always been here. And now he's not an enemy no more. Now he's like, I know where Madara's at. He's stuck in this cave over here. He was alive this whole time? We was collecting people to do this thing. The Akatsuki falls apart. People aren't hunting down the tail beast. And
oh man, imagine if Akatsuki had to deal with the Uchiha clan, bro. As a whole.
Lord.
Oh man.
Yeah.
That changes so many fights in the show.
And then we actually get to see Sasuke versus Neji on something, you know what I'm saying?
Okay. I just want to say for this one part, a Sasuke trained by Itachi would have, in my opinion, decimated Neji. Would have decimated a Rock Lee, because
ooh, I don't know about that one.
I don't know about Rock Lee.
Rock Lee different. Rock Lee is a wild card just because.
But
if we're talking about tuning exams, the fight before the finals in the stadium, if Rock Lee broke out that 5th gate, I don't,
no amount of Sharingan to save him.
Yeah, Sasuke getting walloped with that one. However, Gaara and the Sand Village wouldn't be able to operate so freely. No. Boy, it'd be way too many Sharingan in the village talking about where you going.
Facts. Facts.
You thought you was about to do what to the village? No.
Hokage with his attack, everybody sleep. What y'all doing?
Right. And like, you supposed to be asleep. Why is there a bird on my shoulder? Yep, it's too late. You're gone.
Now, we're going to go ahead and move on to the third what if so that we still have time for all the remaining what ifs. So, for the third what if Luffy never ate the Hito Hito no Mi model sun god Nika? How would that affect the story? Does Luffy still have his conqueror's nature? Does he still get inspired? Well, obviously he still gets inspired by Shanks, but how do you think the story unfolds differently?
I think Shanks let him join the crew.
I was about to say the same.
I think he becomes a red hair and he becomes a hockey monster.
I was either gonna say that, or he becomes a second Shanks, pretty much.
Essentially, yeah. And then, because we don't know where Shanks was taking the fruit to. We just know that they stole it. we know that they stole it from CP0. So we don't know if they were about to feed it to like a weapon or give it to someone else, but we know they stole it for sure.
I have a personal theory that now I don't have any proof to back this claim up. This is just my own personal theory. I believe that Shanks was on his way to deliver that fruit to Ace, so that Ace could carry out Roger's will. So we're talking about a possible Ace with the Hito no Mi model Sun God Nika. And that's even crazier to think about.
That's insane.
Ace,
that would have been wild.
Ace busting out Gomu.
Yeah.
Come on. Oh, that would have been crazy.
And then
that changes his fight against Whitebeard.
Definitely. Because Whitebeard gonna be like, what the fuck? I'll be like, interesting. Yeah, put him on the boat. Give him a shirt. And then it would have been a new generation that spawns from the old one. I mean, in a similar way, but like, we would have seen maybe Luffy leaves the red hairs and starts his own crew as like an adult.
Yeah.
With mastered hockey of all kinds, you know what I'm saying? Because he's still gonna have Conqueror's hockey. So he's another Shanks. And he starts the Straw Hat Pirates. Yeah.
I also see him being trained by Garp somewhere.
Oh yeah.
I see him being by Grandpa and being trained by Garp for a period of time.
He would have either joined Shanks' crew or he would have joined the Navy or the Marines.
I don't quite think he would have joined the Navy, but
I think Garp would have been like, look, get with my squad.
I think Garp takes him out to sea. Like when Garp passes by the island. Yeah. When Garp, well, maybe he still drops him off there, but like when Garp comes to check up on him, instead of, because Luffy ate the fruit, so Garp probably left him there because he's like, I don't want to take him out to sea. He falls in the water, he could die. You know what I'm saying? But no devil fruit, I don't have to worry about that. I can take him on this mission or this expedition, swing back by, drop him off. But during that time, he gets extensive training from the hero. You know what I mean?
Ooh, yeah.
Ooh.
Luffy, imagine Luffy punching the boat, bro.
Yeah.
Luffy with the galaxy impact.
Come on, dog. You see exactly. You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? Yeah, bro.
Yeah, but I still think his would have been called Joy Impact. I still think he would have had some type of essence.
Joy Impact.
But then again, like my question also is, then who would get the flame fruit? If that theory did play out, and then we know, like I said, Luffy's probably getting trained by Garp and to becoming a hockey monster and everything else. Who gets the flame fruit?
Let me ask you this.
Luffy gets it later.
Well, let me ask you this. Do we know how Ace came by the flame fruit?
I believe it's told several different ways, but I don't remember it. Like
Carlos, or excuse me, Brothers Flossy B.
I don't remember.
That's what I'm saying.
Flossy B.
Go ahead.
Without that BS animated brief.
I think he tried to search it
Floss.
up.
I'm looking it up.
Yeah. So while he's looking at that, like I said, it's been told, but it's like, bro, it's so many episodes, you just got to go back and kind of like glance back.
So my thing is I think that if obviously the other events play out somewhat similar, I think that if Sabo lives, what's to stop Sabo from getting the flame fruit? During his
that Diablo Jumbo becomes a whole new move. That Diablo Jumbo becomes a whole new move. With the devil fruit power to back it up?
No, not Sanji. I'm talking about Sabo.
So they actually released it. They released how Ace found it in the light novel about him. Basically, when he started his pirate journey early on, he crashed on this island with someone else who was masked. And they were starving, so they decided to share the fruit. But because Ace ate the fruit first, he became a flame eater. So there is potentially some kind of setup where Luffy does something similar and ends up on this island and just eats the fruit, maybe in the same way he ate the Hito no Mi. I'm hungry.
What if Sabo meets up with Ace during his travels after getting the Hito Hito no Mi, and they crash into the island during their excursions, and when they stumble across the Flame fruit, if Ace already has the Hito Hito no Mi because he was delivered it by Shanks, again according to my fan theory, and then he's like, "Look, another devil fruit. You should eat this." I just want to say. The Hito Hito no Mi.
That would be great.
The Hito Hito no Mi, Model Sun God Nika, Devil Fruit user, with the Flame fruit user is a crazy thing to consider.
I mean, yeah.
Crazy.
And then this is Revolutionary Army Sabo, so he already has all that training.
You gonna have a hockey monster little brother.
Talking about some dang. Where y'all been? I've been looking for y'all everywhere.
Just a menace.
Luffy's
still gonna be a menace with no devil fruit. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Luffy no devil fruit is still a menace.
The only sad thing that we haven't talked about. Go ahead. Sorry, Floss.
I think he would still collect the same crew members too. Once he ventures off on his own.
Okay, so that was my next question I was gonna ask. Well, but think about it. We're talking about altering the timeline. So now you have time dilation. So now, does he reach Zoro in time to stop him from being killed in the Marine Yard, according to the anime? Does he reach Nami in time before she's betrayed by Arlong and eventually taken advantage of in that way? Does, obviously I think he would still encounter probably Sanji, but does he still encounter Usopp? Does he still have the same interaction with Usopp?
Actually, I think he would encounter Zoro beforehand. Zoro would probably be hunting his bounty.
That's fair.
Hunting whose bounty?
Luffy.
But Luffy.
I'm still going off the fact that Shanks would probably be like, yeah, join the crew. But now Luffy would have a bounty. He'd have a pirate bounty for sure.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
And then
Zoro leads Luffy to want to create his own crew.
Yep. And that's where Luffy will be like, you know what? Let's do it.
But they have their village.
Maybe. You can still follow that line.
Yeah, because they would, if that happens, Shanks will be like, all right, cool. We'll head back. They'll head back to the island they meet Luffy on, and he's like, start over from here, from the beginning.
That's a wild one. We're gonna definitely have to make a full episode just dedicated to a certain what.
Shanks would probably still give Luffy the hat. Shanks would still give Luffy the hat and be like, I'm proud of you, go do your thing. And everybody's sad to see Luffy go, but they the red hair, they got stuff to do. So I think I also think Zoro would be like, if he's hunting Luffy's bounty and he runs across Shanks as a swordsman, Shanks would be like, let me see what you got. Let me see what you can do.
That's another thing. Shanks wouldn't have probably lost his arm because Luffy would have never been put in a scenario where he wasn't able to escape.
Yeah.
Because he
didn't. Can you imagine Shanks with two arms and current One Piece?
Zoro wouldn't have went to Mihawk for training. Zoro wouldn't have went to Mihawk for training. He'd have been like, Shanks, where you at? Trying to get right.
And then taking on Mihawk. That's crazy because developing Conqueror's hockey. Go ahead.
Mihawk would have been like, who taught you how to fight?
There's still the possibility that Zoro develops his Conquerors, and under somebody like Shanks, that Conqueror's hockey is going to be even more filthy.
Yeah.
And applying to his swordsmanship, a Zoro with Wi-Fi hockey.
Crazy.
Just
crazy.
Now, this is another Dragon Ball what if we've come up with. I think it's one that I'm extremely excited to talk about. What if Frieza was good-natured?
Boy, I think he would have actually taken over the universe. He wouldn't have killed the Saiyans, he would have trained the Saiyans.
I think he would have trained. I think he would have been inspired by the Saiyans. Like I think their relationship still would have been what it was. Frieza ruler, Saiyan sort of the underlings. But I think the nature of their work would have been a little different. Instead of destroying planets, they would have just been doing work on vacant planets to make them usable, right?
Yeah, cultivating them.
Yeah, and Frieza gets inspired by the Saiyan battle nature and his training. Mm-hmm. So by the time he runs into Goku, he's already of a level, and he inspires Goku to reach his level.
Well, like, my thing about that is, by the time he reaches Goku, Goku would have already been in the army. Goku would have never have gotten sent off to Earth.
True.
Potentially. Think about the storyline now. Potentially, we would have never gotten sent off to Earth.
Because just because Frieza's good natured doesn't mean Cooler and King Cold are good natured.
So
Frieza turning from what the family line does probably creates a rift between him and his family. Cooler comes after Frieza, Planet Vegeta can still be destroyed.
So, in my opinion, the way I see it playing out is this. This is, of course, drawing the assumption that Cooler would be made canon by this What If. And that being said, I think that King Cold would be disappointed in Frieza for being good-natured, decide, no, I'm not going to give it to you. I'm going to give my empire to Cooler. And based on that, Frieza's going to understand, okay, what can I do to surmount that? Well, the only race that I think has a good shot at being able to overcome that is Saiyans. Because obviously the Frieza Force, or rather the Cold Force at that point in time, has a genuine understanding of how Saiyans work and their biology and things of that nature. So they understand, the Uzaru form, he's heard the legends. He's going to have heard about Super Saiyan and Super Saiyan God via Beerus. Based on those things, I think that he would see the Saiyans as the only alternative to overturn the Cold Force, or rather the Cooler Force at this point. And I think, Carl, you made a good point that he would end up training the Saiyans. But the other caveat is, now we're not talking about a Goku, now we're talking about a Kakarot.
Yeah.
Because I don't think we're getting a Goku at this point. I think we're getting a Kakarot. And if we're getting a Kakarot, I think that wanting to fight and wanting to be the best is something truly just baked into his soul. So whether he's Goku or whether he's Kakarot, he's going to stand on 10 toes of business like, hey, let me fight you.
For real.
Square up. Let's get down. And I think that he's going to find, and of course, Saiyan potential is only going to get higher and higher and higher as they continue to exist. So I think that Frieza is going to try and bring out the Super Saiyan nature of them, and seeing something like Broly is going to say, well, I know I can, stop Broly at his current power level. So I think we're going to see a Broly that gets trained, a Kakarot that gets trained up. I think that we could even see a Vegeta. I was just about to say, we're going to see a Vegeta that could possibly look up to Frieza and think, oh man, like, I really think, maybe training is all that. Maybe, innate potential isn't all it's cracked up to be. And I think the Saiyans stand a lot better shot of being able to defend themselves against the Cold Force or the Cooler Force, but they're going to have to lead Planet Vegeta. I think you hit the nail on the head. Planet Vegeta is still doomed to die.
But what does this do for Beerus? Because Beerus is a destroyer. Beerus looked at Frieza, and currently, Beerus told Frieza to destroy a lot of planets. So what would this do to that story, part of the story?
So I think that
Beerus, instead of talking to Frieza, would talk to Cooler.
Well, the other caveat is one of the main deciding factors of why Beerus told Frieza and gave him the go-ahead, and this is canon. One of the reasons he gave Frieza the go-ahead to destroy the Saiyans and eliminate them from his fighting force was because King Vegeta did not give up the softest pillow in the universe to Beerus. But if Frieza's good-natured and he's training the Saiyans, he's going to be like, don't be a fucking idiot. Give him that pillow. Like, don't be stupid. And with that, because Frieza's not dumb. He's insanely intelligent. So he's going to encourage the Saiyans to make smart decisions and to not be stubborn. Like, make the smart choice here. Do what needs to be done so that you can continue to survive. And with
you're going to create a bunch of Gohans.
Well, that would only if they start crossbreeding.
Yeah. Well, no, what I mean by that is intelligence. intelligence, because Saiyans aren't necessarily known for their intelligence. Like, they're battle smart, but just general intelligence, they're not. But Frieza and his influence could create like a lot of intelligence amongst the Saiyan race.
Could y'all imagine a battle crazed but super intelligent Broly?
No.
Yeah, Kakarot too. Vegeta too. You know what I mean? Like, that'd be insane.
Broly is the legendary
scary,
Super
bro.
Saiyan. So a Broly trained from the time of Dragon Ball Super Broly when he first lands on planet Vampa. From that age to being an adult, trained under Frieza is going to be insane. Because not only is he going to get Zenkais, because he's going to get pummeled, obviously, during his fights with Frieza, because Frieza's going to understand that he has to bring out that nature in him. Because I think it's Frieza's nature that truly, brought out that point of Cell wanting to see Gohan like really go for gold. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because it was insane to think that somebody like that could even take on Cell, or in this case, Frieza. I think that what's most crazy to me is that it would basically, and I think we discussed this before having this talk, but we basically get to see what if Frost was actually good, essentially. Like actually turning like you said, D, and like you said, Klepto, like we're gonna get to see a Saiyans reflective of Universe 6.
Correct.
Where they're terraforming planets. Go ahead.
The only caveat would be King Piccolo would take over planet Earth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the Red Ribbon Army is gonna wipe that.
But then the Red Ribbon Army will take care to conquer Earth.
Until the Frieza Force arrives.
Until Frieza sends whoever to
But nobody's being drawn to Earth because the power levels are so insignificant. Because they didn't have probes go to Earth. They didn't have. Go ahead.
My fault. So, but like I see what you're saying. I think I know where you're getting at. But if his whole thing is still to take over the universe and terraform it, somebody's going to still make it to Earth.
Mm-hmm.
Once they detect life there, they're not going to need to terraform it.
Right. Because terraforming is the only reason life being started.
The only reason he would need to head to Earth is if he sensed dangerous presences there. And without Goku being on Earth as a catalyst for the necessary training to elevate them, you know what I mean? I think that even a Piccolo in his prime, even if he absorbed Kami and became the nameless Namekian, that's still not going to be enough to draw Frieza there.
Well,
because
it wouldn't even gotten to that because he still would have been the nameless Namekian or King Piccolo anyway. No, he would have still been the nameless Namekian.
I was gonna say the nameless Namekian would have definitely drawn Frieza's attention because the nameless Namekian, power level wise and output, is comparable to Super Saiyan. So he would have been like,
remember,
what is that?
Frieza doesn't have access to the probes because he's not a part of the Frieza Force. Now, the Cooler Force would have had access to that information, but Frieza wouldn't, because the Saiyans did.
I think they still end up going to Earth though, because like we just said, if Planet Vegeta still goes down, it's not like and Frieza's good natured. It's not like he's gonna leave.
I think they're headed to
his fighting force. Namek would also be another option. But I think that, they would still be looking for a new place to set up base. You know what I mean? A new place to harbor the force. And so either Earth or Namek, those could be suitable options.
What if Frieza, having knowledge of Planet Yardrat, because he sent Ginyu and his team there, right?
Mm-hmm.
No.
So imagine getting the Saiyans to travel to Planet Yardrat and them all learn spirit control.
No.
That'd be insane.
Just every Saiyan have an instant transmission, spirit fishing, the ability to change size.
Yeah, that would be ridiculous.
The Dragon Ball universe, as we know it, would no longer.
They would. I feel like under the influence of that type of training and with the mindfulness it brings about, they'd learn how to control their 8 forms. You'd end up.
that would be the greatest fighting force in the history
of the universe. In the universe, because you end up with Broly type Saiyans or Super Saiyan 4 Goku type Saiyans. Like no.
I still think Beerus would want to destroy the Saiyans though, because just like in the main canon story, he had that premonition of Super Saiyan God and wanted to destroy it.
No, he wanted to fight it.
He wanted to fight it.
He wanted to destroy it. The only reason he wanted the planet destroyed was because of what King Vegeta did.
Because King Vegeta would not give him that pillow.
Okay,
he would have made sure he gave him the pillow.
Okay, so yeah, then oh my goodness, so then we would have still probably seen God Key Saiyans or
but now it's not just they're not God. It's not like God Key now. It would be like Super Saiyan 4 with God Key.
That's what
because. Yeah, so them gaining Yardranian techniques would give them access essentially to all the planets in the verse. And then, so just if
this is a rabbit hole,
right? Heard. I just want to make this one last thought and then we're going to move on. So imagine this course of events. The Saiyans, right, abandoning planet Vegeta and then moving from planet... I love the balloons. Moving from planet Vegeta... going to planet Yardrat, then being able to sense the powers on Namek, and knowing that they have the Namekian Book of Legends, going to planet Namek to discover more lore on the Super Saiyan God, then discovering how to create Super Saiyan gods. Now you have an entire race of gods that have instant transmission, spirit fission, and they're all training against each other.
Yeah.
And they all get powerful each time they get wounded. Exactly.
Yeah, Zenkai boost out the world. Then they're gonna pull up on Earth. They're gonna pull up on Earth and be like, "Oh, y'all got Dragon Balls too? Oh, well, we could use this as a base to defeat the Cooler Force, because Cooler Force definitely gonna pull up on Earth when they sense King Piccolo."
So now we're gonna move on to our final what if scenario. What if Ichigo's powers from Bleach were awakened from birth, and what changes does that cause to the story, and do we see the original Aizen fight still unfolding as it did?
Question.
Okay, go ahead.
Which powers are we discussing?
All of them.
Specifically,
all of them?
I'm sorry. You can make the argument for all of them, but I would say based on his lineage, and it would depend on which parent survives, number one. But drawing the assumption that the dad is still the one that survives, I think he's getting Soul Reaper powers from birth.
I don't think his mom would have died. Excuse me. I'm sorry.
I don't think
if he has them from birth.
We're talking from birth? Yeah. So from birth, he would have Quincy and Soul Reaper powers.
Right off rip.
So my thing is, if he has Quincy and Soul Reaper powers and he grows up with both, by the time he reaches the Soul Society, Ichigo is unfuckwittable.
Oh, I was gonna say.
Even with Kenpachi?
I was gonna say if he has them from birth, then he has all of his powers from birth, because his Soul Reaper powers are hollowified by the hollow that was in his mom. So,
but the hollow, was there a hollow in his mom? Yes, there was.
Yes, that's what. Yeah. So, and that's what attracted the hollow to her in the first place when he was a kid. Now, that's why I was saying she'd still be alive, because the hollow would have pulled up and Ichigo would have been like, "Cool, Zanpakuto, in the back. You're dead. You're done. Gone. Goodbye." Told about my mom. He's crazy.
Wait, hold on, Flossy. Which Zanpakuto? Would we still get the false Yobak, or would we actually?
Yeah, we would get White and the false Yobak, and they would both be beefing inside of Ichigo, because White is his Soul Reaper powers,
right?
And the other one is his Quincy powers, right. And they've been constantly trying to hold back his holification and Soul Reaper power.
But he's being trained by both before his mom ends up dying or not dying. I'm just saying. So yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like, so are we still dealing with you and White, or it was completely different in the Soulverse now?
I think you'd still be dealing with the fake, the difference is this is a trained Ichigo. So he would have influences from both of his parents and know how to manipulate his powers well enough to where they wouldn't be counteracting each other. That would draw the attention of the Soul Society, because Quincy's aren't supposed to have like Zanpakutos. They're not supposed to happen. That would also draw the attention of Yulbach and the other Quincy's, because they'd be like, what is that? Why? Why
I think the 1,000-year blood war would start a lot earlier.
Earlier.
I still think we'd see Soul Society. Aizen might still try to pull his plot in Hueco Mundo and that whole arc, but right after Hueco Mundo, Yulbach is coming to claim Ichigo as either his next successor or he wants his power.
Yeah.
And they go into war.
They're going straight to war. But not only that, I think we would have seen Squad Zero a lot sooner, because Ichigo would have been phenomenal.
He would have had to because he would have seen the difference in all his abilities.
And they would have been like, you're not a Soul Reaper, bro. You're something else.
Yeah.
He'd have been trying to unify all his abilities, and he would have had to be forced.
And I personally don't think he would have ended up with 2 Zanpakutos either. I think he would have ended up with a dual-bladed Zanpakuto, like some Darth Maul type.
Like Shinsuke.
They'd have been like, is it a Zanpakuto or a bow? It's both.
It's both. Don't let it cut you.
Don't let it
settle.
Right. And then he over there talking about Hado number 95.
Stop.
He now gets back his applesauce.
Is there any captain that's touching Ichigo?
If it's not Shunsui, the white-haired dude, or Yamamoto, no.
Yeah.
You don't think Byakuya is doing nothing?
Completely untrained, yes, but we're talking about Ichigo, whose powers have been...
Who's been training with his dad?
His dad and his mom has already been showing him how to focus his ability.
Also, we got to remember that his dad is previously a captain, and the family that he comes from is from the original 13 court guards that killed all the Quincy's.
Ishin is a monster, bro.
So his dad not gonna be lax about that. Like Ichigo pulling up to the Soul Society with a Bankai.
That's what I'm saying. By the time he gets to the Soul Society, Ichigo is untouchable. Untouchable.
I honestly think by the time he reaches Soul Society, he already knows how to pull the mask out.
He might be dealing with glimpses of it, because neither one of his parents would know how to train him in that, but his powers would be manifesting so hard because he's training them. It would show up
Shinji to the Vizards,
Right.
And his splits in Soul Society would still draw them out.
That's so busted.
And then his fight with like his friends, like Uryu immediately would have been like, nah, hey bro, you're a Quincy. He'd been like, nah bro, you're
some Quincy pride.
Yeah, he'd have been
like, what are you?
Because he'd have had both. He'd be like, why are you soul ribbon white and red? What's that?
Yeah, what are you? What's going on with you?
Why is that arrow red? Why is that arrow black and red like that? What is that?
What is that?
What is that?
Right. Gotta explain that. And then, never mind the Hueco Mundo arc, because, his hollow powers is just going...
Yeah, Ukiora not gonna know what hit him, bro.
Ukiora,
it's gonna be worse. It's gonna be worse than the whooping he already got.
Zhao is bowing down immediately upon his presence, bro.
Yep.
100%.
Yep.
Now, moving on to the anime question of the week. What would your existence be like if you were inserted into MHA? Would you be a hero or would you be a villain? What quirk would you have? The one caveat is you cannot choose one for all or all for one. Love it, Maine. Give me your take.
Oh, man, I'm not quite sure on the quirk just yet. I know me, it'll be something with shadows.
Okay.
But I would
so be like that student from class 1B. the one able to move within shadows and transfer himself across a certain amount of distance as long as there's shadow there.
Something like that, and I'll be able to create like shadow warriors.
Ooh,
that's nasty.
So yeah. So
what are the weaknesses though?
I mean, of course, light would pretty much, but it wouldn't just be like just like normal, like turn a flashlight on and I'm weakened. It would have to be something like
a specific kind of light.
Yeah, like UV rays or something as powerful as the sun to kind of diminish me or weaken me. It's like
a solar flare or something like that.
Yeah, because I think I would even call this quartz like black is black.
Ooh. Okay.
But I also think another potential weakness would be pure darkness.
Because then there's no shadows.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Or that everything would be shadow, and it may be like your quirk would overreact.
That's what we use only certain abilities, like maybe using the Shadow Warriors versus trying, or me just being able to move through the shadows, more than working the other because of the overreaction and me not knowing how to control it just yet.
What if we gave it the darkness aspect, that you're able to move through darkness specifically? That gives you not just the access to the shadows. Now you have the weakness to light, but all the light does is mitigate your ability. It doesn't completely stop you. It just weakens what you can do.
Right.
So within the universe of MHA, I think the caveat to your power would be is that people can't use light to try and diminish you, but unless they throw out a permanent flashbang, they're not really like. The only thing stopping you is your own strength at that point.
Right.
Yeah.
All right.
And I think I would be more of an anti-hero.
Vigilante.
Yeah.
All right. Klepto, let me have it.
I would be a hero. I tend to be normally on the good side of things, and being a hero has always been cool to me, so I would definitely be a hero. If I had to take a power from MHA that's already in the show, personally, it would probably be half hot, half cold. I feel like there is a very, very high ceiling to what Todoroki could do with his power that wasn't explored in the written material. So I would really get deep into what the upper limits of what I could and couldn't do with that ability.
Okay. I like.
Flossy B.
For me, I would probably be some sort of gravity generator or manipulator.
Ooh, gravity.
Specifically, I can't manipulate my own gravity though. Just anything else or everyone else within a certain radius. And the caveat or the weakness, I think, would be putting me in situations where I'm gravityless. I think the anchor would be me being able to either have mass, hold mass, or be in contact with something that's holding greater mass than me and manipulating that gravity.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, if you gave me something like float, and I'm not touching the ground, my quirk becomes ineffective or not as effective. And then I would also say, I'm a hero. That's definitely hero. But I would probably want to be more of a street level hero that is very versed in hand-to-hand combat. And that's how I'd manipulate the gravity. Your punches, they're too slow. You're too heavy to fight me. Or you're too light, and now you're leaving the ground. Stuff like that. Air is more denser than you. Yeah, I would do something like that, I think.
That's dope.
Okay. ADT.
You gotta unmute yourself, brother.
Am I still muted?
There we go.
No, you're good now.
I apologize. I'm technologically deficient. Bear with me, y'all. So for me, you already know what it is. I'm Tickety T. I'm an evil villain. That's what it is. I am on the side of darkness. I'm essentially the Prince of Darkness. I'm coming for all the W's against all you heroes, vigilantes, anti-heroes, because I don't care about anything except for the scrap. I just want fights. For me, it was hard. It was really hard to get it down to one. So I have a number 2 and a number 1. So my number 2, just because I didn't see it being as useful fight-wise, is Decay from Shigaraki. But it wasn't my number 1. So my number 1, as a villain, just because I think that if this character in particular chose to be a villain, except for people like Deku, the heroes are going to be up a creek, and that is Permeation.
I knew you were going to say Permeation. I knew you were going to say Permeation. I was literally about to say that.
The reason I say Permeation is this. I'm all about the hand-to-hand, anybody can get it, let's get it rocking. I think that Permeation offers me the greatest opportunity to... You thought you were going to stop me? Mm-hmm. I will Obito you right now. I will... Kamui, get out of here. Just disrespectful. Oh, you wanted to hit me? It goes through my head. Don't even worry about it. I'm over here, the master of time space. Like, I'm spatial, differential. You can't touch me. Don't even... Mm-mm. Oh, you're All Might? Cool. Getting dragged into the ground. Get out of there. Just because I'm going to do what I want. You're not going to tell me what to do. Oh, you think laws govern me? To hell with your laws. Now, that isn't to say I'm going to be out here doing evil stuff left and right, but adhering to laws? Absolutely not. You're not going to tell me nothing. You thought you were my boss? Negative. Pineapples. What hero you think is going to stop me? You think Lock is going to stop me?
That's what the Rock Lock mean. Let the man live, bro.
Sir Night-Eye, you think you're gonna do something to me? Doesn't matter. Oh, you can see my future? Cool. You can see yourself getting slapped up. I'm 1 million, but I'm gonna kill 1 million.
Oh my gosh.
I'm out here trying to run the world. No, I'm just out here trying to find fights, you know what I mean? I just want to fight all you heroes that think you're hot stuff, because to hell with you, I'm gonna be trying to break up society, you know what I mean? Embrace my inner Shigaraki. I'm definitely joining the League of Villains. I'll tell you that now. I'm be all about the League of Villains. Like, come on, Dobby, let's get these fools. We're gonna jump them. Anyway.
Jump them, it's crazy.
Now, we would love to hear your take on this, please. Oh, yes.
And we lost it again.
Oh no!
All right. So while he tries to get that thing, there you go. Okay,
you're back. Yes.
All right, cool.
No.
We lost you again, bro.
We lost you again, brother.
We lost you again.
You can hear us, but we can't hear you? That's crazy.
All right, while he tries to get that fixed, what I think he was about to say and do, y'all, is we're going to go ahead and give y'all the anime recommendation for the week. We are recommending Jujutsu Kaisen. No, I can't hear you still.
You're muted right now. There we go.
Good.
There you go.
Yeah.
So I already told him we are recommending Jujutsu Kaisen. Go ahead, take it.
Before we get there, let us know down in the comments which quirk you guys would have from MHA.
Absolutely.
Now the Jujutsu Kaisen, our anime recommendation for the week.
Check it out. It's worth it. If you like
Fire.
Demon Slayer, if you like tragic backstories, you are doing yourself such a disservice not to check out this anime. And beyond that, if you are a shonen person at heart, you will not be disappointed with these fights. I mean, these curses are getting wrecked. I mean,
they run in the fades, bro. They run in the fades.
Why are you clapping like that?
Because I'm Toto, boogie woogie.
Hey, for those who don't know, wait until y'all pull up to that episode. That boogie woogie technique in them fights is insane.
Episode 19. Episode 19.
If you're a Bleach fan, the overall feeling of this anime is the same. It is exactly the same. You will love this anime. Go watch it.
That being said and done, this has been another episode of the Brothers Son Anime Talk.
Yes, sir.
See you next time. Brothers Son.
Brothers Son.